Hello everybody! It's been a little while. I have a couple of videos in the works, but they are complicated and will take a while. So in the meantime, I thought I would do something kind of easy. I remembered one day that I wrote this really weird story when I was 12 about two magical bookends that would transport you to Peru several hundred years in the past. And I really wanted to read you that story, but I can't find it. I'm really upset. Lucky for you, I wrote a lot when I was growing up. And I found another story that I'm here to read to you. Some backstory about this particular story. I never finished it. I intended it to be a novel. And not only that, I also wanted it to be made into a movie and for me to play one of the main characters. I kept changing the ages of the characters so that it would go along with my age. This story had a great many iterations. I have one version of this. Unfortunately, the first page is missing, but I will fill you in because it was largely the same in every version. There's an evil guy named Tiger. His name is Tiger because he's a were-tiger and turns into a tiger sometimes when he's angry. So what I can tell you about the first page is that probably the first line included Tiger snarled, because all of them did. It starts with his minion telling Tiger that he has killed a woman. And also probably that there are two new children becoming magical. In this particular version, Tiger is related to the main character. He's her half-brother. Her name is Ella. Ella is eavesdropping on the conversation that Tiger is having with his minion, who is named Phil. That sounds evil. Tiger has put a shield of silence or something like that on the door, so she can't hear anymore. And that's where we're starting. Oh, also, this one has some edits on it, so I'm kind of excited about that. Ella scowled at the shield as her brother's conversation turned to silence. She headed to her mother's room. When she got to the room, she was surprised to see an incredibly decrepit figure leaning over a dying woman. It was the healer, Mogartha. I'm really bad at names, you guys. How is she, Mogartha? Ella asked quietly. An unhealable curse, the old woman said in her rasping voice as she stood up. The work of a powerful sorcerer. There is no way I can help her. I am sorry, Ella. Ella, Ella's mother whispered. You must learn what I have learned. Learn to trust the... But Ella never heard who or what she had to trust. Her mother then closed her eyes, never to open them again. Cliché last words seen. How amazing. Mother! Ella shrieked. She fell down on her knees and cried over her mother's lifeless body. Your mother has left you great advice, Mogartha said quietly. What am I supposed to do? Ella sobbed. That I cannot tell you. But I can tell you that you will find what you seek on the Hill of the Magic. I must leave you now. Of course you must leave her now. You can't give her any useful information. Until I see you again, seek what you must find, learn what you must know, be who you must be, and trust the ones of the magic. My middle school principal on the morning announcements always signed off by saying, "This is Miss Gladden, reminding you to be kind, be responsible, and be the best you can be." That's what that reminds me of. Probably where I got it. Good old Mogartha. On these words, Mogartha hobbled to the door, walked out, her knobbly staff thumping quietly on the floor. Ella tearfully watched her leave, and then continued sobbing over her mother's death. Here we are back with Tiger and Phil. An unhealable curse? Tiger asked Phil. That's magnificent. He grinned, showing his cat-like teeth that had dubbed him Tiger. Yes, I know. I played around with her first. What? I shot some paralyzing spells at her, and then one to make her babble about all sorts of things that I don't even think she knew that she knew. It was incredibly funny. I actually wrote that. It was incredibly funny. Then I struck her with the unhealable curse. I love that one. The victim doesn't even realize what you've done until it strikes, leaving Lady Death to her business. Lady Death. At least I made Death a woman. And Lady Death's always looking for slaves. Oh, she's an actual person. So if you help her, she may in turn make you immortal, Tiger said, his green eyes bright and wide with excitement. He smiled again. At this time, I had read the book Sabriel several times by Garth Nix. Similar to that concept. Probably where I got that from. Ah, there you go again with that whole immortal thing. You know as well as I do that Lady Death won't do anything to help anyone as insignificant as you, Tiger. Ooh. I, however, have earned my title as a sorcerer. Forgot about that. You are still just a lowly wizard, the sorcerer said rudely, sticking his nose in the air. Tiger's pupils suddenly turned long and thin like a cat's. Oh boy. And he snarled at Phil for the second time that night. See, I told you the first page started with a snarl. The hair on the back of his neck rose, ready for attack. But you know, she might make an exception for you, Phil stammered quickly, not wanting to make Tiger angry. What I originally wrote was, not wanting to draw the cat out of Tiger. I'm glad I had judgment afterwards, realizing how dumb that was. When he transformed, there was no mercy for anyone, even Phil. Well, clearly they've got a pretty crappy relationship. I don't know why he would show mercy to Phil, because clearly they don't get along very well. Eventually, Tiger settled down. The hair on the back of his neck lay flat again, I don't know why that's important, and his pupils returned to normal. But he kept a wary eye on Phil. That's better, Phil said. Relax. Relax. Tiger shot him a glare, and he stopped immediately. So what did you do with the girl's parents? Tiger asked, instinctively lowering his voice, even though no one could hear him. That's stupid. He's the one who put the... That's dumb. And the boys? Ooh, a new character. And tell me exactly why we had to go through this trouble? What? I thought Tiger told him to do it. First of all, I figured that if I took the children's parents, the children would come and save them. What? But he killed them. That would be our opportunity to kill the children and their parents, thus ending the lines of the Ones of Magic forever. So I kidnapped the parents and put them in the torture chamber. I gave the children 2 weeks to come save them. If they do not come, I'll just kill the parents anyway, he chuckled to himself. I originally wrote, if they do not come, off with their heads! I don't know what's going on here. Of course, you won't actually let them take their parents back, will you, Phil? Tiger laughed nervously. Oh, of course I will. Don't think like that. But it's quite unlikely that they'll make it past all of my traps and illusions, Phil replied, smirking. I capitalized illusions there. Brilliant! Tiger exclaimed, his eyes glittering mischievously. Yes, but then again, they may be smarter than we think. Children are not as stupid as they look, you know. That must have been angsty me trying to make a point. Especially a child with as much power as these children will have. Come on, how smart can a couple of 15-year-old kids be? See, now I must have been about 14, because I always made them like a year or two older than me, so that it had time to like be published and then be made into a movie. But Tiger, haven't you read those stories about the small children outsmarting the powerful adult? Phil asked. Oh boy. I've told you 1,000,000 times, Tiger said through clenched teeth. I can't read. Ooh. Oh yes, ha! I seem to have forgotten, the sorcerer teased. Man, Phil is a bastard. You'll never become a proper sorcerer if you can't read. What do you expect for it to come easily? It's amazing that you can do anything. Again, Tiger began his transformation to the large cat. He leapt toward Phil before it was complete, and as he landed, Phil was caught between the floor and a growling beast. Frizzatio! That's a spell. Phil roared as Tiger's sharp claws raked his face. He kept his fingers pointed at the beast as he shouted, Ascendo! Sound like Harry Potter, anybody? Tiger floated toward the ceiling. Phil rolled quickly sideways as he dropped his finger. Tiger fell from the rafters as he changed back into a man. Oof! He grunted as he landed face first on the hardwood floor and the wind was knocked out of him. "What did you do that for?" he gasped. "What did I do that for? Tiger, you would have killed me," Phil said as he wiped the blood from his face. "Well, you started it," Tiger said, painfully standing up. "Oh, grow up, Tiger. You sound like a child. How will you ever become a great sorcerer if you're constantly attacking people over the smallest things? You have to learn to control your temper." "What is it with you and my temper?" Tiger shouted. "There's nothing wrong with my temper." Phil sighed and rolled his eyes. "Your loss," he said under his breath. That's the end of chapter 1. I think I'm going to leave it at that for now, and come back with chapter 2 another day. In the meantime, I am working on some other things, and hopefully they will be done in a relatively timely manner, but somehow I doubt that. Until next time, enjoy making fun of my story, and I'll see you later. Bye!